Hey guys, and welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be showing you my special bookshelf where I keep all of my Harry Potter paraphernalia and my audiobooks and signed books and special editions, as well as this very book cupboard. So you're going to see a big old tour. It is going to be quite a long video. I'm just going to warn you on that, but this is probably the favourite part of the bookshelf tour, so I hope you enjoy it, and let's get started with my special bookshelf. So here we have my signed books cupboard and special editions, and as you can tell it's getting very full. So it hasn't really changed much from the last time I did a tour of this shelf. The only additions are just more signed and special editions, so I'm just going to quickly share with you the ones that I have added since then. So the first of which is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, the illustrated edition, illustrated by J.M. McKay, and this is brand new, as you can understand, and it is so pretty. I then have an art copy of All I Know Now by Carrie Hope Fletcher. I then have a limited edition of The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, this awesome hardback, and it is signed. I then have this awesome new design of City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. Didn't know where to store this, so I thought I'd put this in this cupboard, as this is beautiful. I then have my copies of Unremembered by Jessica Brody, and this is my art copy, and this is the first cover before they did the cover changes. This is one of my favourite books, and that is why I like to keep all of the editions of these. My copy of Crown of Midnight by Sarah J Maas, which is signed. I then have the movie cover edition of The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. The final copy of Me and Mr. J by Rachel McIntyre. You saw the art copy of it earlier, and this one is the signed one, and nice little message to me as well. I then have another copy of Talan by Julie Kagawa. This one has a little sign plate that is on the inside, and I won this from a giveaway, and it's just really cool, and I love the scales and everything. Then this is my ARC manuscript of Teardrop by Lauren Kate, and it is so cool. I have my signed copy of Beautiful Disaster by Jamie Maguire. I have a special collector's edition of Found Girl by Rainbow Rowell. Then I have this new edition of Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. And then I have My Name is Rapunzel by Casey Hilton, and it's signed by the author. And then I have two copies of these Geek Girl books. I got Model Misfit and the original Geek Girl, and they are signed and have messages on the inside from the author. And I have another copy of Crown of Midnight signed and done to me, and then I also have Throne of Glass that is signed and done to me. The rest of this is already in my previous tour, but I'm just going to quickly go through it. I have all of the Twilight Saga, I have the Twilight Journals, which you see right in front of you, and then I've got the audiobooks to the Twilight Saga. I then have the Harry Potter books. My children's versions are right at the very back, my adult versions are here. I've got two special editions, and that is the first book and the fourth book, and then in front are the audiobook box sets. I also have The Host, that is by Stephanie Meyer, and I have the House of Night colourful special editions, as well as the wisdom cards, which you can see at the top there. But that was in my previous tour, and I just wanted to quickly flash through that, as most of you have probably already seen that tour. But I will link my original tours down in the description below if you wanted to check those out and compare what it was to what it is now. But that concludes the end of my special bookshelf. Hello and welcome to my magical book cupboard, and this is where the majority of my books lie, and everyone is always very fascinated with how I stack these, and people always wonder how I get them out and stuff. It is a very frequent question that actually asked. So basically how I decided to rearrange it in my book covered because I've changed it since the very last time. On the very left hand side, all these books here that you see all the way down to the bottom, they are now in alphabetical order according to the author's surname. So it goes from A at the top all the way along and again and again and again all the way to Z. And the books that are over here and that are on top and around the corner, those are basically my series, and they are either like the first book in the series or they are the next book that I'm up to in the series. So you will see like one of each book sort of series, and the rest of them are downstairs, which you will see in another part. They are in boxes, there's about 3 boxes worth, but it's just a way of keeping them out of the way, and then once I've read said book from a series, then I'll go take it out of the box, replace it up here. But it's just so that there's not a lot of weight upstairs, and all the books that are in the series are on the ground floor downstairs. These next set of books that I'm about to show you are the rest of the books that are in my top 15 books to read in 2015. So I have Unspeakable by Abby Rushton, Viral Nation by Shonta Grimes, Red Rising by Pierce Brown, The Catalyst by Helena Coggan, Don't Look Back by Jennifer L. Armentrout, Cruel Beauty by Rosamund Hodge, and Zodiac by Romina Russell. Okay, so first of all I'm going to start with my standalones from this section. I've already started putting them into piles to show you. So as I say, they're in alphabetical order from A to Z, not entirely alphabetical order as in from every single letter in the author's surname, just from the very first letter. So I'm going to begin with A, and I have Ultraviolet by R.J. Anderson. Then I have The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh, Mosquito Land by David Arnold, 17 First Kisses by Rachel Allen, Scorched by Jennifer L. Armentrout, Me and Elle and the Dying Girl by Jessie Andrews, The Future of Us by Jay Asher and Carolyn Mackler, Hunting Lila by Sarah Alderson, Marie Antoinette Serial Killer by Katie Allender, Tiger Lily by Jodie Lynn Anderson, 1 + 1 = Blue by M.J. Orch, The Boy Next Door by Katie Van Ark, Never Always Sometimes by Adi El Said, Level 2 by Lenore Applehans, Breaking Butterflies by M. Angele, I Boy by Kevin Brooks, Vacations from Hell by several authors including Libba Bray, Cassandra Clare, Claudia Gray, Maureen Johnson and Sarah Milner, The Ghosting of Gods by Cricket Baker, Blackwood by Gwenda Bond. The last book in that row is The Princess and the Captain by Anne Laure Bondu. By the way, I just want to say if I butcher any of the authors' surnames, then I'm really, really sorry. Now on to the next row down, continuing on with the B's, and I have Ironheart by Alan Burrows, Struck by Jennifer Bosworth, Dance of Shadows by Yelena Black. This is actually an art copy that I won in the giveaway. Massive by Julia Bell, an art copy of The Traitors by Tom Becker. This is what Faye gave me. Exodus by Julie Bertagna, Emmy and Oliver by Robin Benway, Am I Normal Yet by Holly Bourne, an Amy Peppercorn novel, Out of Control by John Brindley, Bitter End by Jennifer Brown, Two-Way Street by Lauren Barnholt, Hate List by Jennifer Brown, 1,000 Words by Jennifer Brown, The Game of Love and Death by Martha Brockenbrough, Soulmates by Holly Bourne, Beauty Queens by Libba Bray, The Coldest Girl in Cold Town by Holly Black, The Manifesto on How to Be Interesting by Holly Bourne, Alex as Well by Alyssa Brugman, Life in the Fat Lane by Sherry Bennett, Bob No Ordinary Cat by James Bowen, Winter Kill by Kate A. Borman, Perfect Escape by Jennifer Brown, Paper or Plastic by Vivi Barnes, Lucas by Kevin Brooks, The Boy Free Zone by Veronica Bennett, Shift by M. Bailey, Drowning Instinct by Ilsa J. Bick, all by Jay Crownover, and this is an art copy that I got. Blackbird by Anna Carey, Footloose by Kate Cann, When It Happens by Suzanne Colasanti, Beta by Rachel Cohn, What Happens Next by Colleen Clayton, Tumble and Fall by Alexandra Coutts, Verboten by Amelia Louise Carter, Leader of the Pack by Kate Cann, Avalon High by Meg Cabot, The Kiss by Lucy Courtenay, Whatever Life Throws at You by Julie Cross, When Mr. Dog Bites by Brian Conaghan, Black Spring by Alison Croghan, Something Like Fate by Suzanne Colasanti, and finally Red by Alison Cherry. And that concludes that row of books. And now we move on to the next row of books, and we're still in the sea. And we have The Splendor Falls by Rosemary Clement Moore, In Bloom by Matthew Crowe. This is an art copy that I got given by a friend. Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. I really want to read this and I keep hearing awesome things about it. A Kiss in the Dark by Kat Clark. I Am Remembrance Daughter by Lynn Cullen. The Weight of Water by Sarah Crossan. Surf Wax and Vodka Jelly by Lucy Clark. Sea Change by Kate Cann. Stolen by Lucy Christopher. Boyproof by Cecil Castellucci. And Tangled by Kat Clark. Take Me There by Suzanne Colasanti. All American Girl by Meg Cabot. And the last C is It's About Love by Stephen Camden. Now we move on to my D's, and I've got Holly Starcross by Burley Doherty. That Summer by Sarah Dessen. Someone Like You by Sarah Dessen. Just Listen by Sarah Dessen. Along for the Ride by Sarah Dessen. The Truth About Forever by Sarah Dessen. This Lullaby by Sarah Dessen. Waves by Sharon Dogar. And Falling by Sharon Dogar. Seeker by Arwen Ellis Dayton. Stitch by Samantha Durante. Perfect Room by Lauren DeStefano. Under My Skin by James Dawson. Blind by Rachel Dwoskin. Love Letters to the Dead by Ava Delara. Cruel Summer by James Dawson. This Book is Gay by James Dawson. Demdike Legacy by Barry Durham. Familiar Territory by Barry Durham. Fell Creatures by Barry Durham. Unraveled by Julie Danes. Someone Else's Life by Katie Dale. Low Red Moon by Ivy Devlin. Say Her Name by James Dawson. And the last D is Before I Die by Jenny Downham. I have a few E's. I got Lobsters by Tom Ellen and Lucy Iveson. Such a Rush by Jennifer Eccles. And The Book of Ivy by Amy Engel. Then I have some F's. I got Sugar Coated by Catherine Ford. An Arc of Zombies Don't Cry by Rusty Fisher. This was given to me by a friend. Tessa Masterson Will Go to Prom by Emily Franklin and Brendan Halpin. Infinite Sky by CJ Flood. Dragon Rider by Cornelia Funk. The Accident Season by Moira Fowley Doyle. Just One Day by Gail Forman. Just 1 Year by Gail Forman. Where She Went by Gail Forman. Finally, I Was Here by Gail Forman. And that concludes that row of books. And now we move on to the next row down of books, finishing off with the rest of the F's. I have Not in the Script by Amy Finnegan, Playlist for the Dead by Michelle Falkoff, and What I Thought Was True by Huntley Fitzpatrick. Moving on to G, I have Annie on My Mind by Nancy Garden, The Truth About Us by Janet Gertler, Eve and Adam by Michael Grant and Catherine Applegate, The Fearful by Keith Gray, Brave New Love edited by Paula Guran, The Girl at Midnight by Melissa Gray, Cracks by Caroline Green, Stardust by Neil Gaiman, and The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. Now we move on to the H's, and I have Confess by Colleen Hoover, Horns by Joe Hill, Linked by Imogen Howson, this is an ARC copy, The Art of Fielding by Chad Harbach, Fool Me Twice by Mandy Hubbard, Playlist for a Broken Heart by Kathy Hopkins, Crank by Ellen Hopkins, Through to You by Emily Hainsworth, The Summer of Skinny Dipping by Amanda Howells, New Girl by Paige Harbison, High Fidelity by Nick Hornby, Here Lies Bridget by Paige Harbison, Dangerous Girls by Abigail Haas, Have a Little Faith by Candy Harper, Eat Brains Love by Jeff Hart, Poison Heart by S.P. Hayes, 172 Hours on the Moon by Johan Harstad, The Neptune Conspiracy by Polly Hollyoak. 13 by Tom Hoyle. An Arc of the Messengers by Edward Hogan, given to me by a friend. Next I have the letter J, and I have Addition by Tony Jordan. Zombie Apocalypse, created by Stephen Jones. Forbidden by Cyree James and Ryan M. James. Then I have the letter K, and I've got Control by Lydia Kang. The Improbable Theory of Anna and Zach by Brian Katcher. And Lying Out Loud by Cody Keplinger. And now moving on to the letter L, I have Evanescent by Gabrielle Lepore. Open Road Summer by Emery Lord. Catherine by April Lindner. The Disreputable History of Frankie Landor Banks by E. Lockhart. The Witches of Glass Castle by Gabrielle Lepore. Turf by John Lucas. How I Found You by Gabrielle Lepore. Wuthering High by Cara Lockwood. The Betrayal of Natalie Hargrove by Lauren Kate. And the final book of that shelf is Be With Me by Jay Lynn. I lied, it is Invisibility by Andrew Comer and David Levithan. Now we move on to the next line of books. Continuing on with L, I've got Ash by Melinda Lowe. Epic Fail by Claire Lezepnik. Dead Ends by Erin Lang. And Going Vintage by Lindsay Leavitt. Going on to my M's. One Moment by Christina McBride. Heaven by Christoph Marzi. Missing by Catherine McPhail. Above by Isla Morley. Did I Mention I Love You by Estelle Mascame. Exchange by Paul Magers. Rot and Ruin by Jonathan Maybury. Virtuosity by Jessica Martinez. Don't Even Think About It by Sarah Milnowski. Love and Other Four-Letter Words by Carolyn Mackler. Walking Home with Marie Claire by Kirsty Murray. The Worst Girlfriend in the World by Sarah Manning. The End Games by T. Michael Martin. 10 Things We Shouldn't Have Done by Sarah Milnowski. Breakdown by Sarah Mussey. The Sea of Tranquility by Katja Millet. Velveteen by Daniel Marks. The Boy with Two Heads by Andy Mulligan. Voices by Sue Mayfield. The last of the M's is Hero by Perry Moore. Moving on to N, and I have The Memory Keepers by Natasha Ngun. The Forbidden Sea by Sheila A. Nielsen. The Poison Diaries by Wood Northumberland. Hearken by Caleb Nation. And the last of the N's is Buttercup Mash by Joanna Narden. Moving on to the letter O, I have Envy by Greg Olson. Only Ever Yours by Louise O'Neill. Flashes by Tim O'Rourke. Solitaire by Alice Osman. And Briar Rose by Yana Oliver. On to the letter P now. I have Ketchup Clouds by Annabelle Picture. Some Are Cool by Kate Petty. Wonder by RJ Palacio. The Originals by Kat Patrick. Triskelion by Will Peterson. And Northchild by Edith Badu, and this is my art copy. Then I have one under the letter Q, and that is Silver Linings by Matthew Quick. Moving on to the letter R now, I have Alice and the Fly, and this is by James Rice, and this is an art copy. Just in Case by Meg Rossoff. Lies Like Love by Louisa Reed. How Not to Fall in Love by Lisa Brown Roberts. Out of Tune by Beth Rickles. Soul Sisters by Catherine Robinson. And the last book at the end of that line is Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. And now moving on to the last row of books, which is at the bottom, finishing off with the last authors of the letter R, and that is Unleashed by Christopher Rice. The Moment of Letting Go by J.A. Redmersky. And The Truth About Celia Frost by Paul Ralston. Fans of the Impossible Life by Kate Skelser. Confessions of a Drama Queen by Dylan Sheldon. Lament by Maggie Stiefvater. Ballad by Maggie Stiefvater. Out of the Easy by Ruta Sepetys. Dead Romantic by CJ Scoose. Touching the Surface by Kimberly Sabatini. Dreams by Daniela Sacerdoti. Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin L. S. Sayens. The Opposite of Love by Sarah Schirger. The Forbidden Game by L.J. Smith. I'll Be There by Holly Goldberg Sloan. Vicious by V.E. Schwab. Forbidden by Tabitha Suzuma. Severed Heads Broken Hearts by Robin Schneider. This is an art copy. Between Shades of Grey by Ruta Sepetys. Extraordinary Means by Robin Schneider. Jessie Hart NYC by Keris Stainton. This Is What Happy Looks Like by Jennifer E. Smith. The Bling Ring by Nancy Jo Sales. Far From You by Tess Sharp. Smart Girls Get What They Want by Sarah Strohmeyer. This Song Will Save Your Life by Layla Sales. And the final S is Challenger Deep by Neil Schusterman. Moving on to the T's, we have All Our Yesterdays by Kristen Terrell. The Spectacular Now by Tim Tharp. Witch Eyes by Scott Tracy. An Arc of Blood Donors by Teves Hussain. This Was Given to Me by a Friend. The Prince and the Pauper by Mark Twain. And the final T is Creature of the Night by Kate Thompson. I have a couple of these. I got The Worst of Me by Kate Levan and Trailers by Kate Levan. The final books I have to share with you are The Letter W, and the first of which is Afterworlds by Scott Westerfeld. The Alchemy of Forever by Avery Williams. Poison by Chris Wooding. The Book of Blood and Shadow by Robin Wasserman. My Heart and Other Black Holes by Jasmine Walker. We All Looked Up by Tommy Wallach. The Next Big Thing by Judy Waite. The Wrong Boy by Anne-Louise Weatherly. The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender by Les Lowell Walton. Dead Beautiful by Yvonne Woon. And finally Breakable by Tamara Weber. Then I have The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. Elsewhere by Gabrielle Zevin. Finally, Boy Nobody by Alan Zadoff. And that concludes my selection on the left, which are a mixture of standalones and some that are possible series. Okay, so the next selection of books you're going to be seeing are the books that I have either the first book in the series or the next book in the series that I'm up to. The rest, like I said, are downstairs in boxes, so you will only see one of each book from each series that I own. So the first of which is Eve by Anna Carey, and by the way, these aren't sorted into alphabetical order, they're just all over the place. Then I have Grecian Holiday by Kate Can. The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Heat of the Moment by Lauren Barnholt. Anna Dressed in Blood by Kendare Blake. Assassin's Creed Renaissance by Oliver Bowden. White Cat by Holly Black. Raised by Wolves by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Missing Codename Cassandra by Meg Cabot. The Demon's Lexicon by Sarah Rees Brennan. Darkness Hidden by Zoe Marriott. I need to purchase the first book and then this one can go downstairs, but this is the second book. Unbreakable by Elizabeth Norris. Incarnate by Jodie Meadows. This cover is gorgeous. Lies Beneath by Anne Greenwood Brown. Pure by Juliana Baggott. The Summoning by Kelly Armstrong. Zoe Plays Games by Catherine Applegate. This is the 9th book that is in the Making Out series. Proxy by Alex London. The Prey by Andrew Fukuda. Unbreakable by Cami Garcia. Angelful by Susan E. Desires of the Dead by Kimberly Derting. The Offering by Kimberly Derting. The Taking by Kimberly Derting. Faking It by Cora Carmack. I need to get the first book. I need to. Poison Princess by Cresley Cole. Burn Mark by Laura Powell. I Tell You I Love You But Then I'd Have to Kill You by Ali Carter. Bittersweet by Kathy Cassidy. Dark of the Moon by Siobhan Kerham. The Princess Diaries Take Two by Meg Cabot. Perfect Scoundrels by Ali Carter. The School for Good and Evil by Saman Chainani. Shadows by Ilsa J. Beck. Geek Drama by Holly Smale. Elle Fame's Choice by PC Cast. Brighead's Quest by PC Cast. Strange Angels by Lily St. Croix. Divine by Mistake by PC Cast. Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. Artemis Fowl by Ian Colfer. The Dead Girls Detective Agency by Susie Cox. Kissed by an Angel by Elizabeth Chandler. Whack and Stiff by Rachel Kane. Etiquette and Espionage by Gail Carragher. Mean Spirits and Young Blood by Meg Cabot. These are books 3 and 4 in the Mediator series. The Named by Marianne Curley. Unwind by Neil Schusterman. The Secret Circle, The Captive Part 2 and Power by LJ Smith. The Rising by Kelly Armstrong. And this is the 3rd book. Evan Eve by Brody Ashton. Just for Now by Abby Glines. Perfect Chemistry by Simone Alcalez. Carrier of the Mark by Lee Fallon. The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. Burn for Burn by Jenny Han and Siobhan Vivian. Arise by Tara Hudson. The Enemy by Charlie Hickson. The Red Pyramid by Rick Riordan. Tribute by Ellen Renner. Earthfall by Mark Walden, Alice in Zombieland by Gina Showalter, Defiance by CJ Redwine, Unchanged by Jessica Brody, and this is the final book in this trilogy. It's so cool, you need to read this. Glitch by Heather Anastasio, Sea of Shadows by Kelly Armstrong, Dreamless by Josephine Angelini, Breathe by Abby Glines, The Vincent Boys by Abby Glines, Earthquake by April M. Pike, 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray, Never Too Far by Abby Glines, Eon by Alison Goodman, The Originals, The Loss, and this is created by Julie Black, Trial by Fire by Josephine Angelini, Dorothy Must Die by Danielle Page, Invincible by Sherilyn Kenyon, Storm by Bridget Kemmerer, Monument 14 by Emmy Laybourne, The Giver by Lois Lowry, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson, Arcadia Awakens by Kai Meyer, Seraphina by Rachel Hartman, The Jewel by Amy Ewing, Earthgirl by Janet Edwards, Hallowed by Cynthia Hand, Born at Midnight by C.C. Hunter, Hexhall by Rachel Hawkins, Descendant by Leslie Livingston, Arclight by Jocelyn L. McQueen, Girl Missing by Sophie Mackenzie, The Farm by Emily McKay, Article 5 by Kristen Simmons. And the final set of books from this section at the back here, I have Bad Girls Don't Die by Katie Allender, Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea by April G. Tocholke, Jessica Cole Model Spy Code Red Lipstick by Sarah Sky, The Perfectionist by Sarah Shepard, Pretty Little Liars by Sarah Shepard, Still Heart by Brandon Sanderson, Delirium by Dee Shulman, Partials by Dan Wells, Angel Fire by L.A. Weatherly, Halo by Alexandra Adornetto, Nightshade by Andrea Kremer, Abandon by Meg Cabot, The Shadowhunters Codex by Cassandra Clare and Joshua Lewis, House of Night Legacy by PC Kristen Cast, and this is like the graphic novel to it. Stone Cold Touch by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the second book in this awesome series, the Dark Element series. Tiger's Curse by Colleen Hawke, and I kind of blunked this here because I need to read it, but this is the 10th anniversary edition of Twilight, which has the spin-off Life and Death, which is the Twilight Reimagined. I don't know why I said spin-off, but it's the maddened gender blend sort of story, so I put that there because it's in a series and I need to read it. Moving on to the section over here, I have quite a lot of books that are in a series, and there's so many that I'm not moving them, and plus they look pretty cool here. And this is the Anita Blake Vampire Hunter series, and I really need to get back into it because I started reading the first book, Guilty Pleasures, I got like halfway through it, got really into it, then unfortunately I got like really busy, so I just lost time to read. So yeah, I have a fair few books. I've got the first book, Guilty Pleasures, and I've got The Laughing Corpse, The Circus of the Damned, The Lunatic Cafe, Bloody Bones, The Killing Dance, Burnt Offerings, Blue Moon, Obsidian Butterfly, Narcissus in Chains, Cerulean Sins, Skin Trade, Hit List, Incubus Dreams, Mika and Strange Candy, Dance Macabre, Harlequin, Blood, Noir, Flirt and Bullet. And this is like an adult vampire hunter series, but it is really, really good. Well, from what I can gather from the first book anyway, but yeah, I need to make this book up and read it. I need to just read all these series and then just get the rest of them and marathon them all. But I really, really recommend that series. Move on to my hardbacks that are in series, and as you can see, I've kept some entire series up here because they're hardbacks and they take a lot of space. Plus, I decided that the top level is going to be like my sort of display sort of section as well. So from the very, very right, we've got the Lord of the Rings series, which includes The Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, The Return of the King and The Hobbit, and these are in a nice little box. They're actually my brother's, but I just somehow ended up with them, so eventually I will read them. And then we've got the Gone series by Michael Ranch, as you can see, and it starts with Gone. And we've got Lies, Hunger, Light and Plague, they're all not in order there, I just kind of shoved them there to be honest. Then moving on from that, I have Later Gator and TTFN, and these are by Laura Miracle. These are in the Internet Girl series. I'm just going to remove that little reindeer there, those two books. And then moving along from that, these three books here, I've got Crescendo, Silence and Finale, and these are all by Becca Fitzpatrick, and these are in the Hush Hush series, which I love, and I need to reread them, so I need to reread Crescendo and Silence before I can read Finale, because to be honest there are some bits that I just cannot remember. The next 2 books along from that are By Midnight and Darkness Falls, both by Mia James. Then I have I Am Number 4 by Pittacus Law, Beautiful Darkness by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stoll, City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare, which is the final book in the Mortal Instruments series. And I need to read The Infernal Devices before reading that, because apparently there's something mentioned in it that I nearly got to and I nearly spoiled myself. And then we have Insatiable by Meg Cabot, LA Candy by Lauren Conrad, Sabriel by Garth Nix, Fire Spell by Chloe Neal, Dark Flame by Alison Noel, Forgive My Fins by Tona Charles. And then I got The Burning Sky by Sherry Thomas. This is an awesome cover. Sister Missing by Sophie Mackenzie. And the final 2 books I will just quickly show you. I got The Blessed by Tanya Hurley, and I've also got Passion by Lauren Kate. And there you have it, guys. Those are all the books that are on the top shelf. Sorry I didn't show all the covers to those ones, but they are quite hard to reach at the moment because everything's kind of in the way. So that's all that, but I hope it gives you a gist of what is over there. And the final section of this book cupboard are the books that are underneath the cupboard bit here. So I'm going to pull these out and show them all to you because they are easy to get out, and you need to see them all. So we've got Crave by Melissa Dornell, The Dark Divine by Breda Spain, Fearsome Dreamer by Laura Eve, Inkheart by Cornelia Funk, Scarlet by A.C. Cohen. This is my proof of The Diamond of Drury Lane by Julia Golding. I have actually read this a fair few years ago, but I need to reread it. Stargazer by Claudia Gray, The Fire Salmon by Francesca Haig, Silverfin by Charlie Hickson, Point Blank by Anthony Horowitz, Switched by Amanda Hocking, Slide by Jill Hathaway, The Queen of the Tearling by Erica Johansson, Claire de Lune by Christine Johnson, Unholy Ghost by Stacia Kane, Hexed by Michelle Chris, The Walking Dead Rise of the Governor by Robert Kirkman and Jay Bonanzinga, The Iron King by Julie Kagawa, The Avengers Angel by Hella Killar Walden. Next row down we have Mystic City by Theo Lawrence, 0.4 by Mike Lancaster, Prodigy by Marie Lou, Mercy by Rebecca Lim, Bumped by Megan McCafferty, The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas, The Wood Queen by Karen Mahoney, Itch by Simon Mayo, Meta Wars Fight for the Future by Jeff Norton, Dark Angel by Eden Maguire, Beautiful Disaster by Jamie Maguire, Fury by Elizabeth Miles, Radiance by Alison Noel, The Last Vampire, and this is books 1 and 2 by Christopher Pike, Die For Me by Amy Plum, Aragon by Christopher Paolini, Nowhere by John Robinson, Sorceress by Celia Rees, Falling Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes, Witch and Wizard by James Patterson, Geekhood Close Encounters of the Girl Kind by Andy Robb, Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters by Rick Riordan, Heroes of Olympus, The Lost Hero by Rick Riordan. And the final row of books at the bottom, I have The Zombie Chronicles by Darren Shan, Linger by Maggie Stiefvater, Poison Study by Maria V. Snyder, The Fallen and Leviathan by Thomas E. Snigoski, Time Riders by Alex Scarrow, Entice by Jessica Shavington, Finding Sky by Josh Sterling, Immortal City by Scott Spear, Angel's Blood by Nalini Singh, The Vampire Diaries The Return Nightfall by L.J. Smith, the 5th book in the series, The Vampire Diaries Stephen's Diaries Origins by L.J. Smith, Deadly Little Secret by Laurie Farias Dollars, Slated by Terry Terry, Book of Shadows and the Coven by Kate Tiernan, The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making by Catherine M. Valente, The Temptation by Elisa Valdez, My Soul to Take by Rachel Vincent, Buffy the Vampire Slayer Volume 1, and this contains Coyote Moon, Night of the Living Rerun and Portal Through Time, and this by John Fawnholt, Arthur Byron cover and Alice Henderson. The Secret Hour by Scott Westerfeld, Witch in Winter by Ruth Warburton, Uglies by Scott Westerfeld, Reckoning by Carrie Wilkinson, Shadows by Paula Weston. The final books that I'm going to show you in this part of the video are books that usually sit here at the back of my red bookshelf, and they are the books that I am currently in the middle of, that I have DNF'd or put down for the moment because either I am not in the mood to read or not in the mood for the book, and so I end up putting them down and then I end up ignoring the book, which is a bad idea. I should really finish all of these, but I discovered, just looking at these books right now, that I cannot remember a lot of what happens in the pages that I've read, so I'm going to have to start them from the beginning anyway. But the only book that I'll be alright with is the Bane Chronicles by Cassandra Clare, Sarah Rees Brennan and Maureen Johnson, because these are like the little short novella stories that are inside the book, and this was a fairly recent read of those few stories that I've read like a few months ago, so I can remember those quite easily. So this is one I need to continue the stories of. The next book is Some Quiet Place by Kelsey Sutton. I got about a third through this, and to be honest I need to start this from the very beginning. Then I have Starling by Leslie Livingston. Yet again I read about 50 pages of this. I was actually really enjoying it. I don't know why I put it down, so I need to start from the beginning. Another one is These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. I really need to start from the beginning of this. I was enjoying this one as well, and I don't know why I put it down. I really don't, so I hopefully will get around to this soon. Next of all, I have Waterfall by Lauren Kate, and I got a few chapters in this and then I put this one down. Don't know why, I think I just ran out of time when reading this one, or there's like other books that come out. We all do this, it's quite a common thing, so yeah, I need to begin this from the beginning as well. And the final book is The Originals, The Rise, created by Julie Plec. This is the first book. I was really enjoying this because I love the TV show and I just love the backstory, and I think I got about a third through this one as well, but to be honest I can kind of remember it but kind of not, so I'd rather start from the beginning with this one. And that is the end of those books, so very few, but I shall add them back on to my normal reading list soon. So guys, that is the end of this video. I hope you are still awake, and thank you very much for watching. If you have read any of these books, or if you would like me to read any of these, leave them down below in the comments. Once all of these bookshelf tours are uploaded, I'm going to leave annotations for all the videos down at the bottom, so you can revert to the next video and do a little marathon if you so wish. But it's just a great way of keeping all of the videos together. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. Keep smiling, keep reading and be happy, and I'll see all of you wonderful people in my next video. Bye!